Over the past 15 years, and some 400 different programs that I've produced, I've started each and every one asking two simple questions. What is it that you want to say? And who are you saying it to?
Alcoa Closure Systems International is recognized as the worldwide leader in closure systems technology. CSI provides quality products, service, and support to a global marketplace, producing about 1/2 of all tamper-evident beverage closers applied each year. No doubt consumers around the world use our products every day. Even with this much demand for our products, you can count on CSI holding to the principles of total customer satisfaction, quality manufacturing and technical service, and readiness to meet the specific needs of our customer.
There will be high-powered sports and entertainment. There is even a little bit of the outback right here in Indiana.
You will even be able to visit one Rotary Centre.
So let's get going and see what's ahead and when you race to Indy.
Millions of Americans release pent-up stress by clenching their teeth.
CNN medical correspondent Dan Rutz reports on a new method of identifying the problem.
Tell me where you're tender any place that I touch on your face, okay?
Dr. Michael Montgomery is a dentist going after one of the most common causes for headaches. Jaw clenching, teeth grinding, bruxism as it's called, usually happens at night, but not always. Over half of all adults do it regularly, night or day. And some, like Linda Larson, grind until it hurts.
And then I had headaches and my neck was stiff and...
It weighs in at 420,000 pounds. The receiving antenna is 82 feet across, and from the ground to the top of the dish is about the height of a 10-story building. There are 27 identical reflector antennas located on a plateau 7,000 feet above sea level. It's called the Very Large Array, and is the world's most sensitive radio telescope for making detailed pictures of objects throughout the universe. Moved along railroad tracks, the antennas can be positioned anywhere along the Y-shaped...
CNN's medical correspondent Dan Rutz reports from San Antonio.
Tiny bubbles can cripple or kill if they get into the bloodstream. Yet the serious complication demonstrated in Leonid Bonegan's laboratory is quite common in brain surgery. Doctors at the University of Texas Health Science Center in San Antonio perfected their model of the upper heart to show how head veins necessarily cut in surgery can suck in air, and how a slender plastic tube can vacuum nearly all of it out in seconds.
In 20 years, Tommy John has pitched his teams to World Series in both leagues. His best years were as a Yankee and as a Dodger. Now a California Angel, he's respected by his peers for more than his statistics.
Strike 3 call.
Tommy John was a baseball medical pioneer. When he ruptured an elbow ligament 11 years ago, Dr. Frank Jobe said he'd try something new, taking a section of tendon from the right forearm and sewing it into place as a left elbow ligament. And he had his best success after that operation.
The single-panel AcoustiSeal wall is one of the most common systems in use today. We will use this system to show you how easy it is to operate AcoustiSeal operable walls. First, check to make sure the path the operable wall will travel is clear.
次に3000ポンドの溶鉄は溶鉄運搬機に注ぎ込まれ、 頭上式モノレールで40トンの補助路に移されます。ここでは金属の温度調節と構成物質の観察が行われます。この40トン用の補助路は金属の混合の役割をし、3時間余りに及ぶカスティングの材料。
This reflective aluminum layer allows a laser beam from a disk drive to reflect off the surface of the disk to detect and read the digital information. Lacquer is then applied by a spin coating process. This protective coating is hardened and cured using ultraviolet light. The digital information on the CD is now sealed between two protective layers, the plastic substrate on the bottom and the hard lacquer on top. The information on the CD is safe from any contamination, and the disc may now leave our clean room environment.
A litho operator was cleaning his press. He had his hand on the litho rolls, and as he jogged the press, the rolls turned and pulled his hand into the press, smashing his fingers.
State forests are managed for what we consider multiple use, and there are extractive uses of state forests. If a harvest area that's designated to be cut in the fiscal year 1994-95 is a 100-acre tract, a forester will examine that 100 acres very thoroughly and individually pick the trees that would be cut, and we would put no more than 15% of that 100-acre tract, or 15 acres, into what we call regeneration opening.
I understand that this was a fur warehouse, and we actually had to gut this place out, incredibly gut this place out, and we had to have a lot of vision to be able to see exactly what we were going to create here, and it took a lot of man hours and a lot of dollars to be able to do that. This is probably one of the most glamorous brew pubs in the country. Most of them are much more casual. We do about 90% tourist trade because we're in the French Quarter area and we're mostly tourist oriented, although we're getting more and more name recognition because of our uniqueness. We're the only brew pub in Louisiana, actually.
But for this trip, I find it's time to leave the fast pace of city life and head out into the country, where there is plenty of room to roam. My adventure begins about 100 miles southwest of London, in the county of Kent. A starting point only a few hours by train, but in a time thousands of years ago.
So let's start down the path, known as the Ridgeway.
The Ridgeway is one of 13 national trails in England. National trails have been set up as long-distance routes for walkers and, where appropriate, cyclists and horse riders through some of the finest landscapes in England. There's a great range of prehistoric sites along the whole length of the Ridgeway, in fact. The Ridgeway starts in a World Heritage Site of Avebury with its fantastic circle of stones. That is thought to be late Bronze Age. Then we've got a range of Iron Age forts, castles along the Ridgeway, but as you go east, those prehistoric...
I'm Mark Mathias, owner and producer for Marquee Media. And hopefully soon, I'll be asking you the same two simple questions.